It was an early noon in Canterlot Castle. Luna had just finished her duties of the day, and since she didn't have any other particular plans of the day, she decided to take a walk in town since it was a nice warm summer day. She would have asked her sister if she would like to join her, but unfortunately, Celestia still had some of her royal duties to be taken care of, and Luna decided to maybe ask her another time. So she left the castle, just walked around, and just enjoying the day, greetings on the ponies, and just having a pleasant day by herself. But around lunchtime, Luna started getting hungry, and she decided why not to try some of the local restaurants in the area. She went to a small diner in the area, just around along the street, and she was approached by a waiter. Oh, Princess Luna, it's an honor. Um, yeah, follow me. I would like to take you to a table. Thank you, she said. Um, um, here's the menu, and let me know when what you're choosing what you want to eat. I will. Don't worry. And Luna was actually felt a little taken aback that the staff was really stunned and really stuttered. This is isn't unlike any other day the royal princesses actually showed up at their establishment. After about 10 minutes, the waiter showed up and she chosen to have hay balls and pasta for lunch. And the waiter said, "Good choice. It's exactly what our specialties. Our cook, Thunderbolt, this is actually his specialty." She said, "I will be back. Just relax for a minute. I will. Don't worry." After a few minutes, the waiter came back with the food, and she told Luna to enjoy her lunch, and Luna did actually enjoy hay balls and pasta, since it was actually her favorite food of all time. And after she had finished her lunch, the waiter showed back up, and Luna asked if it was possible to talk to the cook about the food. The waiter was starting to get a little bit nervous if something was wrong with the food. She even asked, um, your Highness, is there something wrong with the food? I mean, I apologize. No, 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 no. I mean, the food was so delicious, and I would like to talk to the cook directly, if it's okay. Yeah. Um. Give me a moment. Then she went back to the behind in the kitchen area, and soon enough, both the cook and the waiter came back out. Your Highness, I was told you wanted to talk to me about something about the food. Yes. I may have to explain that this pasta in Havel's was so delicious. It was actually one of the best food I had in a very, very long time. And if, even to be honest though, this was probably the best I ever had. Oh, I feel honored. Your Highness, please come in. Uh, okay, Luna. Um, I feel honored that you like my cooking. Of course. And in fact, I may actually come back here a little bit more often. Oh, um, well, you're always welcome back here. Honestly, though, I mean, we always like our customers enjoying the food. Well, why wouldn't I? I mean, this food is if this dish was this, I'm pretty sure the others you're cooking are always this delicious. But then suddenly the waiter whispered something to the cook. Huh? Oh, yeah. Uranus, Luna. How would you feel if we offered you a chocolate cake for free as dessert? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, just give me a moment and I will go prepare one of those favorites of our delicious ones. Said Thunderbolt and bowed and went back in. After about 15 to 20 minutes later, Thunderbolt came back with a dish with the chocolate cake. Here you go. Let's enjoy. Thanks. After that, she actually enjoyed the chocolate cake and she even gave Thunderbolt her highest ranking as possible to this food and dessert. She said, I will definitely be back here more often, she said with a big smile. Thank you. And then she even paid for the food and when she came back to the castle, she saw that Celestia were in the library. Oh, there you are, Luna. Where have you been? Oh, I was just out. Oh, did you really expect any particular? Um, I just actually went to a small diner in town. Just there for lunch. Oh, was it food good? It was worth, absolute worth it. This chef, Vanderbolt, Vanderbolt actually made this amazing, amazing meatballs and pasta dish. I mean, that is your favorite food of all time, is it? Says Celeste with a smile. Well, you know me, sister. What are you up to? Oh, just reading this daring do book. Oh, um, well, I might just go back to my room to relax a little bit. Yeah, see you for dinner tonight. Yeah. That evening, Luna was actually laying on the bed, just relaxing, and in fact, there was one thing that she couldn't get out of her mind, and it was not the food. It was actually Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt was quite handsome, she thought, and since he was quite handsome and very good cook. Even during dinner, but when between her and Celestia, they actually talked all about the food place, and Celestia asked if it was possible that they could go there tomorrow together for lunch. Luna said, "Yeah, I mean, unless we don't have any bigger plans to do this tomorrow, then yeah, why not?" Then Luna Celestia smiled and said, "Yeah, we can go." And the next day, in fact, they went there around lunchtime. And the waiter was surprised once again to see Luna, but now with Celestia. And they ordered the same food, tables and pasta. And Thunderbolt was this time was not aware there was not Luna, but also Celestia ordered this place. When he asked the waiter, so, what did the guests think about the pasta dish? Um, they actually loved it, as always. Well, you may have to take a look at this though. Why? Is something wrong? No, but you may have to look who the guests are. Okay, is it? And looked out of the window and it's like, whoa, is that both Luna and Celesta here? Yep. Wow, I didn't expect that. And Celestia would like to talk to you. Oh boy. Well, best behavior this time. Don't worry. They liked the food. Why weren't they? And in fact, Celestia actually gave his very much high recommendation to this food, and she said this was the one of the best food. And she asked if it was any secret ingredient or secret way that you're doing this, and he said not really. I follow this the basic standard recipe. but I do add some little bit more spices in the but in the hay balls, but that's probably it. Both Celestia and Luna looked at each other with a smile and said, "Probably." But then, after that Celestia had left, Luna remained. Is something wrong, Your Highness? No. Is it possible I can talk to Thunderbolt? Since you don't have any other customers at the moment? Um, yeah, I believe so. Thunderbolt came out and they started talking since she was right. There were no customers at the moment. Yeah, so they just all talking and both laughing about some jokes and in fact, Thunderbolt actually felt very connected to Luna. They had the same type of sense of humor, they had a lot of common interest in music and book series, and he even asked her if it was possible that she maybe wanted to spend some time afterwards, after work, and Luna smiled and nodded that she would like that. And since the restaurant, this diner closed around 5 p.m., they decided to just walk around the town and just have a good time. They actually got to know each other a little bit more. And he told her that he actually was born and raised in Canterlot. And the diner was actually his father, which he took over when his father retired only about 2 years earlier. She smiled and said, "Well, it seems to be running in your blood. Being a cook." "Yeah, I mean, my grandfather did work as a cook himself, but not as this type of establishment. So, but yeah, blood, it runs in my family." And so, do you have any other hobbies you like to do? Flying around this like Wonderballs? She laughed. Oh, no, I am not much that adventurous type. I prefer to just flying around, just enjoy the time, go to museums, work out sometimes. Oh, you do? Uh huh. Always try to make sure I stay in shape and keep strong side. And working at this small diner is a lot of work, hard work itself. Oh? Yeah, sometimes I had to carry some heavy boxes or removing some of the heavy equipment, just cleaning and like that. But it is a daily workout, and I don't have to pay for it. That made both Luna and laugh. And it's like, yeah, go to the gym can cost you a few bits. You bet. And for some reason, they actually felt connected. And he asked her by just like curious though, Luna, do you have a boyfriend by any chance? No, I don't. Why do you ask? Um, well, I was just curious if you maybe want to go out, maybe? She was a little bit surprised at the question, but she smiled and said, "I love that." So they decided to go to the movies that same evening. And at the movies, they actually had a great time. It just how showing how well connected they were. And even after first date, they had a great time. They decided to go out again, but next time to a restaurant in the area. After the second date, it was like Luna actually had found a true soulmate. She didn't even know exactly though at the time, but she would eventually knew that she had found a true soulmate. After about a couple of weeks, after their fifth date, they decided to make it official. And it didn't take long for the whole public became aware of Luna as Thunderbolt. But the public was just happy to see that one of the royal princesses actually had found her true soulmate. But there were a time when suddenly, when Luna went to see Thunderbolt at the diner, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Luna, but I may have to shut down this Wednesday dine for today. Oh, why? My waiters had been calling sick today. Oh, um, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, how about this? I can help you. Wait, are you serious? Yeah, I mean, I've seen the waiter doing this for several times now, and I want to help you. I appreciate any help, Celeste Luna. I really do. So he agreed. She was given some instructions from Thunderbolt how to be greeting guests, the customers, and how to be precise and also being in time in order to give the food. Unfortunately, in the beginning, when he made a test to show her how to be in, she made a wrong order, but after maybe 20 minutes of training, she had a hang on it. And after that, they opened the restaurant at the diner a little bit later, but Thunderbolt told me the reason why they were being opened a little bit later than usual. And the customers understood. And having Luna as the waiter this time was un- unexpectedly surprised. But the customers actually loved her to work in there. And by the end of the day, they actually received so positive reviews that having Luna as a temporary waitress, even though that became public knowledge eventually that she worked at this restaurant, this diner, but only for to help a boyfriend. Celestia was just smiling when she read this in the newspaper the next day after that. And she was like, I knew my sister was a very good heart, gold heart, but this takes the price. But then, eventually, around wintertime, only a few days before Heartswarming Eve, the waiter said that they needed some extra help, since usually this is the time when a diner had often more customers than usual. And Celestia had suggested to Luna why not that she helped them, and she did. The customers actually had a good time, and in fact, Luna decided why not to work there as maybe as part-time job, even though she was at first maybe not a good option for Thunderbolt. But he didn't mind if she did show up from time to time to help around. And and by this time she actually had to hang on this how to greet the customers and get each customers the right food they had ordered, and the customers loved one of the princesses rather than taking one of the royal duties but helping the civilian population. And it was something that they both agreed to help. And on the holiday itself, Thunderbolt was actually invited by Celestia and Luna to celebrate with them at the castle, and he accepted it. He actually gave Luna a scarf that he bought for her, and she gave him the same thing. And even for New Year's Eve, they actually had also invited him to spend time at the castle. They actually just had this a great time. And for the next follow 2 years, they actually had this amazing time. And in fact, Thunderbolt felt he was happy. He did tell her before he actually met her, he were in a relationship at the time. Well, maybe it's just that had been broken up maybe just a month earlier before he actually ran into her the first time. It turns out that his ex was actually cheating on her with another stallion for almost 2 months. He was heartbroken. But some of his friends and family actually did manage to help him to move on from that. But now he told her that when he had actually met Luna, and after they first would have made officially, he knew that he had found his true soulmate and couldn't had asked for any pony better than her. She was just happy to be there. And even so, and on their 2 years anniversary, Thunderbolt actually decided to ask Luna to marry her, or to marry him. And he took her to the same restaurant what they had there for the second date on. And after that, they had their dinner, and he actually did ask Luna if she wanted to marry him. And she said yes immediately. She started crying over all this. But the very next day, when all their friends and family had been told, they were just overjoyed to see the great happiness Flood, between Luna and Thunderbolt. They could even have asked for anything better than that, including including Luna. She could have been happier. And they decided to have the wedding on in the summer that same year, and in fact, it was great time. Luna had asked Twilight to be her bridesmaid, and Thunderbolt had asked one of his old friends to be the best man, and they everybody had a good time. Even at the party afterwards, they couldn't been happier to be married with the one they loved the most. Even both families couldn't have been happier for them either. Seeing how they were looking each other's deep in each other's eyes said they couldn't have been happier. And even though Luna was happy, Celestia actually had a big surprise for both of them. She actually had granted Thunderbolt to be immortal, so she could have her husband with her all the time. They even went to a tropical island for about 2 weeks on their honeymoon, which was a big gift also from Celestia. And both had this great time, like swimming in the ocean, doing a beach ball, and just doing a lot of sightseeing, just having a great time. And 2 years after they'd been married, both Luna and Thunderbolt actually had decided they want to start a family. And after some time, they made a big announcement. They were expecting the very first fall within the next few months. Everybody was excited for them, and the whole kingdom, in fact. And then the day came when the daughter was actually born. They named the daughter Winter Eclipse, and she was born as a natural alicorn. Like her mother, she was very talented in magic. She loved to practice magic with her mom, her aunt, and even flying around with her parents. She was very energetic as a filly, but there was one thing that she loved the most, and that was actually helping others. She wanted to be something that so that she could help other ponies. She wanted to be a doctor. And when she was older, she actually applied for a medical school in Manhattan, and she was accepted in. After she had finished her training as a doctor, she was actually offered a position as a doctor in Baltimore. She decided to accept the offer, and she moved there, and she doesn't regret the decision at all. And she even fell in love with another doctor there, and they even got married after being dating for about 4 years and later have two daughters and one son together. Luna couldn't have been happier when she found her true love within Thunderbolt, especially after all those years being together. He had actually made her feel happy, proud, just very happy. And even Thunderbolt could have been happier to be with someone like Luna, making feel happy. And they used also to happy just to have also a daughter together. This is how Luna and Thunderbolt found a true love, got a family together. The end.